Hello Stampers! I've got a motorcycle card for you today, and this one's a little bit patriotic. I decided to get a little flag going in our background today, and it's so easy to do this. And I've used this background quite a bit in my stamping years. There's so many things that you can put in front of this, like patriotic sky. So today I'm using the Legendary Ride motorcycle stamp set. And this is a fabulous stamp set, and it's a great guy, masculine type set. Those are hard to come by. And you can team this great setup with the Legendary Ride dies. And this die set, I didn't use it today, but I'm just going to give you a little show here. There are so many pieces here that you can build that motorcycle out and have it very dimensional on your card. I decided to have my motorcycle be part of the scene, like in the scene instead of on top of today. So I just used the stamp set, which is fine. But you can save 10% if you want to bundle the stamp set and the dies up together. So we're going to get going on our card here. I left the layering very simple today. I just wanted a nice, good size main image panel to create this big scene on. So, and I'm using very vanilla today instead of basic white. Now you can find all the dimensions down below this card. Just click show more and you'll see them there under the description, along with all the links to the products that I used today. So, like I said, we're starting with very vanilla. This is 3 3/4 by 5. And we're going to do the flag part of it in direct to paper. Now I have a Starry Sky pad here. And I'm going to turn my panel so it's this way. And I'm going to drag my color in. I'm putting in the blue just up here in this in this top section of the cardstock where you would have your navy and stars for your flag. And I'm just using this short end here, and I'm using it at a tilt. So I'm just catching this edge. And one thing, make sure your ink pad has some ink on it, because otherwise you're not going to get a nice bright color. So start lightly, and I'm bringing this out. Not all of these are coming out to the same size here. I just want to get some blue up in that corner. And you can continue to add to it and get a little darker if you want to. But there is our blue part of our sky. Like I said, that's Starry Sky. Now we're going to do direct to paper with our cherry cobbler too. And I'm going to use that same short edge here. And I'm going to turn my cardstock, and I'm going to come in from a different direction. I came in this direction on this part, and I'm going to do the opposite side here. And I'm going to kind of start at the bottom, and I'm bringing some stripes across the panel. You want to leave plenty of that very vanilla showing in between for our, to represent our white stripes. Now when you get up in the blue, you're going to lift your pad as you go into that blue, so you have that streaked look there. Okay, so there, just like that, we have a flag, right? That was our cherry cobbler. Now I want to put some mountains in the background, so easily we're going to just tear a post-it note. Here's the sticky part up here. And I'm just going to tear some mountain shapes up here in the piece here. Now I have a smaller mountain and then more of a flatter one here. And that's how I tore mine today. No two mountains are ever alike, so you tear yours however you want. Just kind of watch having your mountains be the same height and shape. So have your mountain shapes a little different from each other. And I'm going to put these, the tallest mountain, I'm going to have, it's like an inch and a quarter from the top. And then I'm going to take a blending brush and some Crumb Cake ink. And I'm going to add some Crumb Cake to these mountain shapes here. And I'm going to have my mountains a little darker than the ground area. So I'm going to put some mid-ground in here. And so I'm not putting any more ink on my blending brush, and I'm bringing this down to the bottom. And you can put a little more up here. It looks like I've got kind of a spot. I want to kind of darken these. And this is going to look rustic, okay? And that's what you want. All right, so we got our mountains in, and you can just peek under this paper and tell when you have enough ink that it shows up well. So there is our mountains. We're going to take that off. So simple, so simple. So now we need a ground area for our motorcycle to sit on. So we have our mid-ground here, and we have our mountains in the background. I'm going to get darker yet, and we're going to use soft suede for our foreground. So we're going to get it a little darker. I'm going to use the directed paper, and I'm going to use that short edge again. And I'm bringing it in the same direction I did the red stripes, which were cherry cobbler. And I'm getting a little darker here, just in the foreground, like the bottom inch. So there we have a little darker foreground for our motorcycle to sit on. Okay. And now it's time to stamp our motorcycle. I'm telling you, this scene comes together really quick. So I'm going to go ahead and ink my motorcycle up, and I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black for this. Make sure your motorcycle is inked well. I can tell when Sadie's been on my desk, she leaves little cat hairs for me to find. Toils of stamping with pets, right? Okay, so now I want to stamp this motorcycle, and I'm going to stamp it so the tires are on the ground. You don't want it floating up in the air. There we go. Give it a good press. And then while we have this out, I have this, it's a little rock and a grassy part that comes in the set. And I'm going to add this down in the right corner. Right here, just to give a little something in the foreground. And then I'm going to use the Memento Tuxedo Black also for our sentiment, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on. And I'm going to stamp this right above our mountains here. I have to kind of lean in so I have a chance of getting this straight. It says, "You are legendary." So there's our sentiment, and there's some really good sentiments in this set. We're using the "You are legendary," but it has "Dad, you're the coolest," "Classic authentic you since forever." That would be good up there in that corner also. And "Right on, it's your birthday" would be great too. So fun sentiments for men. Okay, so we're going to work a little on our motorcycle. I just want to bring it out some, but first I want to add some light smoky slate Stampin' Blend marker. And I'm just going to go over the light areas on the motorcycle with this. And that kind of blends out a little bit of that red you see in the background. So it's not like showing through the motorcycle so much. And kind of darkens your motorcycle a bit. And I'm not going over every little thing. There we go. And then to bring it forward a little bit, I just want it to have like a little bit of white on it. And this is like a little, you know, reflective bit on anything that might be shiny. And I'm going to color in the front of that headlight here. And I think I'll do just a couple of lines on this top of things here. There's on the gas tank. There's a little shine on the seat. On the fenders. Kind of along here, just to break that up a little bit. Any place you think it needs a little bit of shine to it. And there's all kinds of highlights that are already in this image, so you can just hit those, bring them forward in your scene. Okay, so there's our motorcycle, our sentiment. We have our little rock here in front. Let's give it a little attention. I'm going to go ahead and kind of color it in a little bit. Little scratchy stuff here, and then I'm going to take my finger and kind of smush it down and smear it a little bit, and that will take it back out some and make it look more gray. And then I'm adding little highlights to the grasses down there, and that kind of brings that forward in the scene. For our stars, I'm just going to add a few random dots, just like you would a starry sky, you know, just add them, just real random like. There we go. Now we have it complete. And now we're ready to put it together. So I did try this on basic white once, and the scene is just, the white is just too bright. So it's nice to have that very vanilla to work this on. It does gives it a more rustic feel. So just to put this together, we're just going to add a little bit of this Starry Sky. This is a metallic woven ribbon. Just taking a length of that, and I'm just going to adhere the ends to the back of the panel over here on the left side. And I'm going to use mini glue dots for that. Just one on each side, just to hold it down. Here we go. And then I'm going to just take another little length of it. I'm going to slide it under and then tie it in a knot. So I give it one tie. I'm going to slide this down a little bit and then give it another tie. That's about all the bling I usually put on like a man's card. And this little dainty ribbon is great for this, especially since it matches our blue area up there in the sky. And it gives it a little shimmer. Okay, so now we're ready to put this on our card front. And I have a card base here, and I used the Starry Sky cardstock for this, and it's 5.5 by 8.5, and then I folded it in half to create my quarter card. Then I cut 2 panels of Crumb Cake that are 4 by 5.25. I adhered one to the front of the card and one on the inside of the card to balance it out. Now the main image panel I'm just going to pop up, and I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals for this. And then I'm just going to adhere this to the front, center it up. Okay, how about on the front all centered up? And there is our project for today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and that you give this background a try. It's a lot of fun to create and it's so easy. Here's my original. I hope this inspires you to get those inks out and get inky today. Thanks for joining me. Take care. Bye.